Yo, 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 yo. What's up, Denver? I hope you're doing all right. I'm very excited to be up here. I've been waiting for this moment for quite a while now. And yeah, I'm very excited since the first moment I arrived. I saw there was people doing a lot of crazy stuff, crazy ideas. And that made me starting to think, what could I do for this to hack? So I came up with the idea of what if we had this this 3D space that resembles this one, this space where we are, almost like a digital twin of the place where we're at, so that not only you that are here around, but also those who missed Denver can come and can get to see the experience of ETH Denver. All right, so I have a surprise for you. I actually did the whole thing on 3D. I uploaded into Decentraland, and now we have a Decentraland Worlds working for ETH Denver. And how exactly does that work? Okay, let me tour you guys, show you around. So, you arrive, and the first thing you see is a 3D spork. There you go. We got the Buffy corn as well, and this is the venue where everything is happening, all right? So I suppose that we've all been here. This is me. I don't know if I look alike, but all right, let's do it. As soon as I get in, the first thing that I see is a security check, all right? So I'm supposed to leave my stuff there. There I can see the registration, and I can see almost everything of what's going on this place, all right? So we have the Witty Pixels game here. We have a link so that you can click it. We have a link to the merch for ETH Denver. We have a map for the Sport Castle. And we have the stages. This is stage number 2, and this is stage number 1. If you guys want to know how it feels to be up here, it's kind of like this. All right, so yeah, this is a space so that everyone who didn't attend to ETH Denver is able to come around and talk to people. So yeah, that's what I've been working in, just as a surprise for this talk. If you go outside, you can find the food trucks as well, and you're gonna be able to see the Rockies. I think they're called the Rockies. So in case you're not going to the ski retreat, you can come and climb up this one. All right, so if you guys want to join this place, just let me know and I'll give you the link so that you can invite your friends. I'm trying to do like a party or something over here. So yes, this is Build-A-Verse, all right? Perfect. So yeah, I just wanted to show you this, guys. I just think it's very cool. I did it for the presentation, but we're not here to talk about Build-A-Verse or whatever. I'm talking about the role of architecture in Metaverse society. So let me just introduce myself. My name is Eduardo Dávalos. I'm from Mexico, and I can proudly say that I am a Metaverse architect. How does that even work? Because I get that question a lot, especially here where there's software architects, and as soon as I say that I'm an architect, there's just start speaking languages that I just don't understand. So yes, I'm an architect. I design architecture, and I bring that architecture into the metaverse. All right? So we're going to talk about the role of architecture in metaverse societies. Let's tear it up. I think we all know what architecture is. These buildings that surround ourselves all day long, almost any time of our lives. The metaverse, I think we've all been there, these digital spaces where you can chat, you can commute with other people using your 3D avatars, and societies. We are all part of societies. So yeah, I think we have enough. So let's talk about what's the impact of architecture in real life. Okay, so first of all, there is a physical environment that is being manipulated by architecture. As humans, we spend more than 80% of our lives inside of spaces, of indoor spaces. And the other 20%, we're outside, but we're also communicating ourselves with architecture. We're always surrounded either by parks, either by buildings, by urban landscape, whatever. So this architecture has a direct impact on the way that we feel physically, our comfort and our safety, all right? So there's also a emotional well-being, in which we all know how important it is to have natural light, open spaces, view of nature, and how that can improve our mood or can reduce the stress that we're dealing with, especially in these kind of places. I feel like this one is kind of dark. That's why I did the Metaverse one a little bit lighter. There's also cultural identity, which I think is very interesting. Architecture has always been part of culture. They say that architecture is the reflection of what's happening with societies, and also for history. I mean, these buildings don't talk for 5 years, for 10 years. They talk for decades, for centuries. So the role of architecture within history is very important as well. And also the economic impact. Architecture that is well designed, it is you can get more tourism, more new clients, and when it's poorly designed, you mostly get negative outputs out of that. Okay, so that's what architecture does in real life. What happens in the metaverse? How is it different? Does it change a lot? To be honest, as an architect, working for the metaverse and working for real-world clients is almost the same. The process is very similar. It's going into a concept, going through it and making it happen. The only difference is that in the metaverse, you don't have to deal with people to build that place, right? You just have to do the 3D model, upload it to the metaverse as I did, and then just code some interactions of what's going to happen when that user enters the space. Okay, so when doing architecture, in the metaverse, we're doing spaces for social interaction where people can connect, where people can talk to each other, and they can get along. Also, something very interesting is that designing architecture for the metaverse has made me thought of buildings as this weird case of user experience in which you have to do to guide the user to the different stages of your building, of your user experience, and make it do what you want it to do. So yeah, if metaverse building is well designed, then it tends to be more engaging, and when it's poorly designed, you can even get motion sickness from it. I think we have all been through that with VR probably. Also, the economic impact. Architecture is creating a very, very interesting creator economy among architecture, 3D, and stuff. And one of the most interesting for me, or the one that this talk is going to be about, is cultural identity. And how does that have to do with metaverse? What does that have to do with societies? Well, those societies, we have seen some of them. I know that they're still developing, but we have seen, for example, this is the Decentraland's map. This map was divided into different neighborhoods or districts. As you can see, Vegas City, Ethereum Project, Red Light District, Fashion Street, etc. So each one of these neighborhoods is being rolled, and all the decisions are being taken by a DAO. So that gives you the first glimpse of these metaverse societies of people that are gathering in virtual worlds and are taking decision on what happens and how that world develops. There's also a lot of influencers going on Twitch, and there's a big amount of people getting to know different cool spots in the metaverse thanks to Twitch. So personally, that helps me a lot. I hop into these Twitch sessions. I see what people are saying about those buildings, and that helps me so that I can design better architecture for metaverse spaces. Also, Ice Poker, I don't know if you guys have heard of this. It works like this. You buy an NFT, which is a wearable in Decentraland, and if you have it, you're going to be able to go to a casino in Decentraland and start gambling in the Metaverse. So we can see that these Metaverse societies are starting to grow, are starting to create a profile on what they're looking for and how they like to identify themselves. This is a quote from one of my favorite architects called I Am Pei. It says, "You only have to cast your eyes on buildings to feel the presence of the past, the spirit of a place. They are the reflection of society." And I like it because it's true. As I was saying before, architecture lasts forever. So, well, not forever, but for a long time in the real world. But in the metaverse, architecture can change day by day, hour by hour, or even by minute. I could delete the Biddle verse that I did right now, and no one will ever know. So if there's societies, there is architecture and there is history to be taken note and to keep track of. I think that is very important. Okay, then if we talk about people asking for architecture in the metaverse, then let me tell you guys what I've seen around the metaverse. I've seen different architecture styles. I've seen futuristic architecture, fantasy architecture, post-apocalyptic, historic, and realistic. We know in the realm of the metaverse, well, as well for architects, we can design almost whatever we want. So you can either go for something very realistic, or you can go crazy and do something that would not be able to exist in the real world. And I think that's one of the things that makes me happy about the metaverse. When I used to be in architecture school, my background's always been in 3D, VR, stuff like that. So my teachers would say that my buildings would be either too expensive or almost impossible to build. Right? So when I found what the metaverse was, I was like, dude, here's a place where all of my crazy ideas within architecture can be alive. So yeah, that's what I like about it. And it is interesting to see how people are doing very crazy stuff. For example, this is Mariana Cabugueira. She is an architect and she's working for Wilder Worlds. And she's always done this super organic, cool looking architecture, super futuristic. And this is Zaha Hadid. I don't know if you guys know that studio. Actually, Mariana used to work for Zaha Hadid. Then she dropped out and she started her own metaverse studio. This is for Liberland. It is a project for a metaverse city. So you can see all these experimentations, and what I'm really excited about is it's not how architecture is good for the metaverse, but I think it's sideways as well, so that metaverse can do good stuff for architecture, so that we architects can start to experiment and do crazy stuff online and then see if it's feasible to do in real life. We can also see fantasy looking architecture that looks like if it was taken from a cartoon, all right? So this is a office that I designed, and this is a wedding venue that I designed as well. Yeah, we've made quite a lot of weddings in the metaverse, and this one has like a cloud looking thing, and it's even floating as if you were getting married on the sky. Then we got apocalyptic. This right here is Monaverse, the fallen giant, one of my favorite spaces in the metaverse. It's called Monaverse. If you guys haven't heard of it, it's very nice. And this one, this post-apocalyptic looking, it's a horror game in Decentraland called The Book of Solomon something. But it's a very horrifying game in Decentraland in case you guys want to play it. I mean, we've seen this post-apocalyptic looking architecture in video games before, so actually none of this is new. We've been doing video games for a long time. We've been working with 3D. We've been gathering communities virtually. So the metaverse is not alienized for us at all. Also, we can see historic architecture. I did this one for, this is part of Mexico City, El Zócalo. We did it for Mexico's Independence Day. And this was one of the weddings that I've designed. And they mentioned that they've always wanted to be in Paris. So, yeah. We did Paris for their wedding. They loved it. And, well, let me tell you about that. Being a wedding planner in the Metaverse is actually quite a lot of fun because you don't only get to know the couple, you get to design how their wedding is going to look like. And if that involves architecture, then it makes me very happy. And we also have the realistic type of architecture in the Metaverse. For example, we see Domino's Pizza. They released something in Decentraland where you would go to a store that looks like a real world store, and you will need to find 8 slices of pizza that are hidden throughout the store. If you do so, you will get a wearable. So it's like these fun experiences. We also have Sotheby's. I don't know how it's pronounced, but the facade is almost the same as the one in the real world. So they're doing almost what I did. I replicated this space, turned it into 3D, and uploaded it to the Metaverse. Also, Forever 21, they have like this realistic looking type of architecture. That was for Metaverse Fashion Week. Metaverse Fashion Week is happening late March. So if you guys are up to something or want to do something for Metaverse Fashion Week, please let me know. I don't think I have enough time to keep going. I just want to start concluding my ideas and what I'm bullish about. I'm bullish about architecture helping the Metaverse to thrive. I truly believe that the future of how the Metaverse looks is in hands of architects, 3D modelers, and of course, the communities that ask for these spaces. So it's going to be an interesting synergy to see how architects, 3D modelers, and Metaverse users start creating the way that the Metaverse shapes, all right? So, yeah, I think that's basically it. If you guys have any questions, I'll be down here answering almost anything that you want to know. And that's it. I just want to say, as an architect, I am fully committed to make the Metaverse a better place. Thank you so much. If you want to go to the Buildiverse, let me know.